Final segment of hour one on this week's episode of Implicit Bias. Look, if you've missed any of this episode so far, I tell you, you can go find it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify. I tell you to find us on our socials, find us on X, find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook. I don't often say this, especially on the air. This is a good show. If you get into this conversation and you hear something that you like, you've probably missed something of significant substance because we've got some great guests here this week. Trust me, go back, find it, like, subscribe, because you don't want to miss on the occasion when we actually put out something that is really worth listening to. Every now and then we do. All right, so the crew that's here, as I kick my microphone, the crew that's here is Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist. He's only one of, 15 in the world. Rene Girard, he's in the chair like mine. At the bar, Father Taj Glaude, Father Joe Campion. We're double priesting it at the bar, and we left the last segment talking about immigration and why the desire was to destroy American exceptionalism. And Father Glaude, you had something you wanted to chime in. A line from a song that really spoke to you with regards to why people were coming to America and what American exceptionalism and the ability to turn an opportunity into something in this country.
Right. James Brown, of all people, the Godfather soul himself.
Godfather of soul.
In the 60s, made a song about America and about living in America. Long before he made the one that was in Rocky IV. But throughout this song, he speaks through it to the background of music. But there's one part of that song that always stuck with me. And I actually have this record, by the way. But he says, when I started out as a shoe shine boy, every word I said, I meant. But name me any other country where you can start out as a shoe shine boy and shake hands with the president.
It's true. You know what that means? That means that we actually need, there's something, it's going to be the next addendum to the Mr. Lester's TSPL. We need the James Brown celebrity hot tub. Say hot, right? Because it's hot in the hot tub. Hot. Right? Yeah.
Is it wet?
Somebody, yeah. We're gonna have to walk. We're gonna make Walker in the back. Walker, anytime I say hot, you say yeah. That's gonna be one of the things you have to do. But it's so incredibly true, right?
Yeah.
Not another country on the planet where you can start out as a shoe shine boy and shake hands with the most powerful man on the planet.
And not just necessarily shake hands, but actually become a CEO or president of a company we were talking earlier, Central America, you have two classes, the haves and the never wills. You have people that have stuff and people that, no matter how hard they work, won't get to that level.
Now, this is a really important call out because the ability to work your way up, right, is the point to
that's the way America works.
Country.
Yes.
And it's why those people still want to come here.
They're coming here because they've heard of the land of the big PX.
Yeah.
And just so if you want to look it up, the song is titled America is My Home.
And here's the beauty of this. This is why it's so important. And this actually ties into the other story, the one that I said almost got me in trouble. It's because they recognize if they come here and work of their merit, they can achieve more than if they don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Where they're at.
It means they can grow because where they're at, no matter how hard they work, they never get more.
Right.
But here, if you are willing to work hard, you don't have to be a genius. Rene can barely spell his own name. He's had his own business for 20 years.
Yeah, but
it's 4 letters.
My name is short. I can't do it. It's 4 letters. So I'm good on that.
I hate to say this. It's actually 3 letters, right?
Well, it's one letter twice.
Yeah, 1 letter twice.
But the philosophy of America, the principle of America, is that every American has an equal opportunity.
Yes.
It's not going to be the equal outcome, but you have the opportunity to make the best of yourself.
So, Father Taj, now I have to ask you about the story that almost got me in trouble.
Only if I have an answer.
Well, it's this because another executive order destroyed affirmative action as established by Lyndon Baines Johnson. So Donald Trump, within days, came out, wrote an executive order that basically rescinded affirmative action quotas in government hiring and things of this nature, and really, destroyed it across the board. Your thoughts on that, because you probably have a different perspective on that than we do, or maybe you don't. I don't know.
First of all, let me say these two words. Thank God.
Okay, why?
Because, and I don't apply this just to black people, but every race.
Mm-hmm.
What affirmative action basically says is that you're too dumb to get an education to work for what you have on your own. So we're gonna do by law put you where we think you need to be.
Can I get a witness from the congregation? No, I've always believed this as well, right?
Exactly.
Essentially, it's, well, we know you can't do it on your own. We know that you can't achieve on your own. So we're going to force the other kids to pick you first. I often think that life is basically a schoolyard game of dodgeball. And it always will be. At its utmost level, it always will be, right? If you're too old, too slow, you're not going to get picked first.
Right.
If you're the kid who can throw the ball the hardest and you can move the fastest, you are going to get picked first. But the beauty of the game of dodgeball that is life is none of us are stuck there like we are as kids. You know, if you're a 7-year-old boy trying to play dodgeball with a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds, you're going to get picked last and you're going to get hit first. And there's nothing you can do in that moment to change that. But if someone sits down in an interview and says, you know, you need this educational qualification, you need this, if you develop this, you might not get it right there, but you can go get it. You can go do it. And to that point, Father, it always felt like that they said, even if we tell you what you need, you still aren't smart enough, sharp enough, bright enough to do it, and you never will be.
Now, if I could say this, just from my own personal experience, affirmative action did absolutely nothing to help me in seminary. In fact, affirmative action didn't get me into the seminary. When I actually got accepted in this seminary, by the grace of God, I had to work my butt off. Was I the brightest student? No, I wasn't. Did I graduate summa cum laude? No, I didn't. But I worked every day without any help from anybody. I didn't ask for help. I did have some support. Not to say that I didn't have support.
Right.
Many people supported me. And that's what motivated me to keep going, despite everything that was against me.
Now, and I do want to offer this caveat. There was probably a time in this country when affirmative action might have had some sustenance and sustenance in the culture of the country, right? Because there was a time when, for some people, just getting in the door was tough. And that is the truth.
Some people,
you can't hide from it.
It was impossible for some people to get into the door.
And that's wrong.
Right.
That is flat out wrong. But where we are today, I think we've gotten past that. And it's now only an issue if we make it an issue. Father Joe, we got to go quick because Walker's telling me we got to
I was
wrap.
just going to say that, I was ordained with the Josephite Fathers. We work in the African-American community. So, and as Father Taj said, there was no quota systems. You had to do it by merit. I am glad you brought up the history because you used the analogy of a dodgeball team. Well, sometimes you're not even on the team because of color.
Correct.
Of skin. Now in our society, 2025, this has to go by the wayside. It has divided people. It's created a segregation. Asians have been put out because of their excellence.
Yes.
We cannot have a society that is going to have quotas and try to say they're rectifying a social problem of racism. merit. If we had strict quota systems, what would the NBA look like?
Yeah,
and
well,
the NFL.
Well, and we got to wrap on that. We're going to come back. Trust me, hour two's always more fun because we'll get into second weekly whiskeys and things like that. Stick around. Find us. If we're not on an hour two, call your radio station. Tell them you want to hear us. We'll be right back.